Hello and welcome to this video translation of Act 4, Scene 2 of Romeo and Juliet. Capulet's house is the scene, and Lady Capulet, the nurse, and some servants are there. Capulet is busy arranging the upcoming marriage, to which Juliet just said she'll have nothing to do. So many guests invite as here are writ. So he's saying, invite all the guests I've written down here, and off goes the first servant. Sirrah, go hire me 20 cunning cooks. Go and hire me 20 good cooks. And the second servant says, you shall have none ill, sir, for I'll try if they can lick their fingers. So he's saying, I'll get you good cooks. I'll test them by asking them to lick their fingers. And Capulet is confused by this, as rightly he may be. And he says, how canst thou try them so? So how can you test them like that? And the second servant says, marry, sir, 'tis an ill cook that cannot lick his own fingers. Therefore he that cannot lick his fingers goes not with me. So the second servant is basically saying, well, if a cook is good, he doesn't mind licking his fingers because the food he's cooking, which is on his fingers, is good food. If a cook is making bad food, he won't want to lick his own fingers because he won't want to taste his own food. Therefore, if my cooks lick their fingers, they're good cooks. Now that's obviously complete rubbish because of hygiene. You wouldn't want a cook that just licks his fingers all the time. Capulet knows it's rubbish and says, go, be gone. You can't even be bothered to argue with him. You could argue that he's in a bit of a better mood here. We shall be much unfurnished for this time. What, is my daughter gone to Friar Lawrence? So he's saying, we're not going to be ready for this wedding at the moment. Maybe he's regretting his haste to forward the wedding and making it happen so soon. And then he says, is my daughter gone to Friar Lawrence? Has Juliet gone to the friar? And the nurse says, aye, forsooth, yes, that's true. Capulet says, well, he may chance to do some good on her. A peevish, self-willed harlotry it is. So, he might be a good influence. She's so stubborn. Once again, everything Capulet says just seems to be ridiculed in this play because he's completely wrong, of course. The nurse says, see where she comes from shrift with merry look. So here comes Juliet, looking really happy. And Juliet comes in and Capulet says, how now, my headstrong, where have you been gadding? So, hello, my headstrong daughter, where have you been? And Juliet says, well, I have learned me to repent the sin of disobedient opposition to you and your behests, and am enjoined by holy Lawrence to fall prostrate here and beg your pardon. Pardon, I beseech you. So she's saying, I've been with the friar. He's shown me the error of my ways. I should never have disobeyed you, and I'm really sorry. Now, of course, Capulet's going to love that, isn't he? And Juliet says, henceforward, I am ever ruled by you. So from now on, you're the boss. Now look at Capulet's response. Already stressed about how the wedding is so soon, he's not going to be able to, get everything ready in time. He says, send for the county, go tell him of this, I'll have this knot knit up tomorrow morning. In other words, go and get Paris, tell him this has happened, we'll do the wedding tomorrow. He's bringing it forward another day. And Juliet says, I met the youthful lord at Lawrence's cell and gave him what becometh love I might not step over the boundaries of modesty. So she's saying, well, I bumped into Paris and I wanted to treat him in a loving way, but I didn't want to be flirtatious or too, improper. Capulet says, why, I'm glad on it. This is well. Stand up. This is as it should be. Let me see the county. Aye, marry, go, I say, and fetch him hither. Now, afore God, this reverend holy friar, our whole city is much bound to him. So I'm glad, this is good. Stand up, Juliet, this is how it should be. Let me go and see Paris. Go and get him, bring him here. I tell you, Friar Lawrence, we all owe him a lot. Juliet says, nurse, will you go with me? So asking the nurse to go with her into my closet to help me sort such needful ornaments as you think to fit to furnish me tomorrow. So nurse, will you come with me to my room so I can sort out the sort of jewellery that is appropriate that I should wear on my wedding day? Now, Lady Capulet, and I analysed this in my ebook, which is £1.99, link in the description. Everything you see on the screen, by the way, is in my ebook, but also the analysis. Lady Capulet says, no, not till Thursday, there's time enough. So Lady Capulet says, no, don't bring the wedding forward to Wednesday, let's have it on Thursday. Capulet completely ignores her and says, go, nurse, go with her, we'll to church tomorrow. So go on, nurse, go with her, the wedding will take place tomorrow. So Lady Capulet has no say at all, and Juliet and nurse go off, and Lady Capulet says, we shall be short in our provision, 'tis now near night. So, we haven't got enough supplies, it's nearly night time already. Capulet replies, tush, I will stir about, and all things shall be well. I warrant thee, wife. Go thou to Juliet, help to deck up her. I'll not to bed tonight, let me alone, I'll play the housewife for this once. What ho, they are all forth. Well, I will walk myself to County Paris, to prepare him up. So Capulet says, I'll sort it all out, wife, everything will be fine. You go and help Juliet get dressed. I won't go to bed tonight. I'll stay up all night, and I'll get everything ready. And I'm going to go and get Paris. So Capulet is hyper. Against tomorrow my heart is wondrous light, since this somewhat wayward girl is so reclaimed. So he feels really happy because he feels Juliet is behaving well again. And of course that's dramatic irony, because we know it's all part of a cunning plan. Please do give the video a thumbs up and do subscribe to the channel and watch the rest of my videos for the complete series on Romeo and Juliet. In Act 4, Scene 2, we find Capulet busy in preparation for the wedding of Paris and Juliet. Once again, the audience know this wedding isn't going to take place, but this use of dramatic irony indicates that Capulet is not as wise and powerful as he seems to think he is. Again, time plays a key role in the drama unfolding before us. Capulet, ever the rash and impetuous man that he was, decides to bring the wedding forward 24 hours. He is so delighted at Juliet's fake apology, he wants to have this knot knit up tomorrow morning. The audience knows this means there is 1 day less to get the message to Romeo about the fake death, and early signs of tension begin to mount as we think that perhaps things aren't going to go to plan. It's very interesting to explore the relationship between Lady Capulet and Lord Capulet in this scene. When Lord Capulet announces the wedding day will be brought forward, his wife is not in agreement. She responds, no, not till Thursday, there is time enough. Now Capulet does not even respond to her. He just ignores her and says to the nurse, go with her, we'll to church tomorrow. And this interchange gives the audience a glimpse of the type of marriage Juliet is so keen to avoid with Paris. Women in Elizabethan England were the property of their husbands, they had no rights of their own, and Lady Capulet and all wives had no power over her own life and no right to make her own decisions about things like Juliet's wedding. So Juliet, on the other hand, has taken control of her own life and is making her own decisions. Of course, the irony is that her decisions do not end well. So is Shakespeare saying that women should not rebel against the role they are given as submissive wives? When Juliet does so, it does not end well for her. Or is he perhaps saying that society needs to change? Gender roles, arranged marriages, the role of parents, they all need to change in order for people to live a truly happy life. The decision is yours. Well, everything I've said in this video and this whole video series can be found in my ebook. It's available for £1.99. Please do follow the links on the screen and pick up a copy.